So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on the history of the lawsuits here in Canyon Lake. In March of 2007, Warren Buckmaster sent a letter to the district attorney making allegations that, among other things, the senior management was stealing $1 million a year from this community. The police investigation was started. Shortly thereafter, a group called Canyon Lake Owners for Fiscal Responsibility kind of took over and started an email campaign. With the constant flow of allegations coming from the police, coming in, and the police investigation moving forward, the board that consisted of Michelle Gordon and Randy Bonner decided to perform a forensic audit. In September 14, 2009, they found a gentleman and his organization by the name of Ernie Cooper. Ernie Cooper has a lot of credentials, but basically he's a forensic auditor. He handles fraud investigation, management of complex financial fraud matters. Okay. On February 12th, Ernie Cooper gave his feedback back to the board. The feedback was basically this. He discovered some horrible examples of management and leadership, but their conclusion was illegal activity was not taking place. They made the recommendation to one employee, they made the recommendation that one employee should be removed for insufficient management skills, and that one senior manager should get some sort of discipline short of termination. On February 10th, one manager was released, and over the next 2 years, the other two senior managers were treated with enough disrespect that they decided to leave. Let's fast forward 1 year. February 24th, 2011, the police report was closed. It was closed, and at the end of it said it was based on the lack of sufficient evidence to continue the criminal investigation. This case will be closed unfounded. 4 months later, new board was seated. We'll call this Sean McDonald's board. At the very first meeting, June the 7th, 2011, board approved the establishment of the Forensic Study Committee. Their estimation was the financial impact of this report would be minor, and it would be absorbed by the operating budget. 3 days later, in an article in the Friday Flyer, dated June 10th, 2011, the board, same board, published the report in the Friday Flyer saying that the criminal activity was discovered, that no criminal activity was discovered in the audit. They continued to establish the committee from the members from the community. They reviewed the same information from the Cooper report but come to a different conclusion. They decided to sue. One of the members of the committee had a brother who was a lawyer, and they hired him to take the case. Fast forward to this board. The very first meeting that we had during our member orientation, we had the lawyers give us a feedback on these cases. It was very clear and evident at that time that these lawyers had accomplished very little, and they had virtually no place to go. We decided that at that time to tell them to stop this lawsuit. Some of the board members that are seated here was having difficulty with that decision, so we asked Mr. McDonald and Mr. Nigel to come to an executive session and show us any piece of evidence that possibly we had missed. They came in, and the information was not compelling enough for us to change our mind. We continued to settle the case. Of interest, leaving just before Sean left the board, he had himself placed on the payroll. Sean presented us with a bill for $512.50 for his time preparing for and and attending this particular meeting. So, how much did this cost you? In audits, investigations, and related legal, it's $253,838. These figures are not made up. These figures come out of the finance system that paid the bills. Severance pay. We paid $326,833 in severance pay. These are the people that we treated badly and chased away. They rented a room that cost us $3,800. They had an employee reading emails and making copies. We paid her $59,830. The legal bills for the lawyer was $199,935. The total expense was $844,236. In my opinion, this is just an example of a small group that feels they know what is best for the community. They took the community down a path that has damaged our reputation and cost you a lot of money. Now we have the same group of people that have yet another great idea. My question to you is, are you going to allow them to do this to the community again? Thank you.